All right, guys. So in this video, we are going to learn how to write a hypothesis in the if-then format. And we're going to also learn how to write a three-part conclusion. So I'm going to perform a really simple, quick experiment here, back again in my kitchen. I have a stopwatch that I'm going to be using for timing purposes. I have a very simple ceramic container. I'm going to be using 3 separate tablespoons of butter. So as you can see, I already cut it. So we have one for the first trial or attempt, one for the second one, and one for the third one. And I'm going to be using my stove. And my stove right here, you guys can see that it goes from low in the 1 all the way to, let me bring that, medium at 5, and high would be at 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using my stove to see how much quicker the heat intensity of the stove affects melting of the butter in terms of time. So I want to see when the butter melts the quickest. So I think that we already know the outcome, right? I'm pretty sure that the hotter it is, so I want to put it here in a stopwatch. The hotter it is, the quicker the butter will melt. So this would just be an experiment that basically is going to support my idea. I think, I could be wrong. Maybe they melt at the same rate regardless of the heat intensity. So for the first tablespoon of butter, I'm going to turn my heat to a 1. And then I'm going to turn my heat to a 3. So, well, 1, and then 4, and then let me see, a 7. So that's what I'm going to do. So a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So those are going to be the 3 intensities: 1, 4, and 7. Okay. So here we go. Let me get this started. So I'm going to put this iPad. I'm going to go ahead and unwrap the butter that I already pre-cut. So that's what I'm just doing. My stove is in cool, so I will do that every time. So that will be my control factor. And I'm going to put it in this little container, and I'm going to put it right here, right in the middle of my burner. And as soon as I start the timer, I'm going to turn it I'm going to turn the stove to 1. So I'm going to stop this video so I can start the time lapse. So as you guys can see, to melt 1 tablespoon of butter, and this isn't really hot because it's at the lowest heat, to melt 1 tablespoon of butter at level 1 on my personal stove, I can't say that that will always be the case for all stoves or all hot plates. It is 9 minutes, 27 seconds, and 14 milliseconds. So I'm going to go ahead and let the stove cool. I don't want it. And then I would restart the same procedure in a cooler container of these. So I'm going to let this cool down. And now start it with the second tablespoon. And then I'm going to do it at 4. So I'm going to skip 2, and then I'm going to do it at 4. Then I'll skip 2 and do it at 7. See what happens. Okay. So as you can see right here, this little light turns on red whenever my stove is hot. So as you can see, it's off. So I am getting ready for, oops, I got my finger in it, the second human error, the second tablespoon. And like I said, this time we're going to put it on 4. So I'm going to go ahead and really quickly put the butter in there, wipe my fingers here on the side. Turn this on to 4, and I'm going to start my stopwatch, and here we go. So as you can see, the time is significantly less when it's on, well, I just turned it off, so it was on 4. So see, this is my little red light. So I'm gonna let that turn off. That tells me that the surface is cooled all the way down, and then we will do the third. Oh, so think about a prediction. What do you think is gonna happen? How much time? All right, so, oh, I just turned the stove on, and, well, a minute ago, and I had to restart the video, so I'm turning it off to 7. I've got my butter ready to go and my stopwatch ready to go. Oh, better reset. And 1, 2, 3, put that on 7 and start. So let's see how long this takes. All right, so the final time for the butter melting and the higher intensity in 7 was 2 minutes, 14 seconds, and 49 milliseconds. So now we know that it does take a short amount of time to melt 1 tablespoon of butter when the intensity is higher. The heat intensity is higher.